What's up, Gamer Nation? Heretic here. I know it's been a while since my last video. I swear I'm not quitting. Like I said, I want to put as much time as I can into this, but sometimes life gets in the way, and my content can kind of get spaced out. But it's all for a good cause. I'm gonna make some investments in the future towards my channel, but of course that takes time, money, and effort. So it will be a while. But I'm getting a few videos out more this week. I hope you guys bear with me. I got some pretty good content. I'm getting my hands on all kinds of games, and I'm trying to give you coverage on each and every one of them. There's a lot to discuss. This month is all about the games, people, and next month it's going to be all about the games for next year, because it's going to be about E3 and shit, which is, for gamers, basically what I keep saying is it's our Super Bowl. It's our chance to see the big two corporations, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, whatever, duke it out and see the best developers get their games out. Awesome gameplay trailers, hopefully shitty CG trailers, but yeah, there's a lot happening in the next year, and I'm gonna be there to cover it all. So just bear with me on how I release my videos. So first up today is Doom. You guys get a chance to play this? Now, it's been a long ass time since I played a Doom game. The last Doom game I played was Doom 3, back when I was like 15 years old or something. Don't get me wrong, I had a hell of a time with it. A lot of people didn't like it. I understand some complaints about it, like the single player, there would be these closet scares, jump scares, where you would walk through an area and then something would just jump out at you in horror fashion. And yeah, I get where they're coming from. It doesn't make for good replayability or scares. That's why I think horror is kind of weak, because it's predictable sometimes. But for those complaints, I definitely understand why they didn't like it. And the campaign was definitely not in your face, like Call of Duty lightning speed fast, like we're all familiar with from the good old days, Doom 1 and 2. The speed, I think people just wanted them to keep the good old feeling of that speed, hyper speed. Nothing but zombies and demons in your face and shit. And they just didn't like the pace of Doom 3. I loved it. I thought it was perfectly paced out. The first time I played it, as an experience, it felt very rich and cinematic. And I liked it. I don't remember the multiplayer. Don't ask me what the fuck the multiplayer was like. That was too long ago. But I remember the single player of Doom 3 being a competent game. So the question is, does this Doom game keep up with that tradition of that fast-paced in your action style play, with a Doom flavor? I would say, again, it's been a long ass time since I played any of the Doom games. Forgive me, it's been a long generation. And the main question would be, does this kind of gameplay have a place in today's a place in today's gaming culture? I would say yes, there's definitely room for these type of fast-paced arena shooters. Hip firing, no kill streaks. The typical. The question is, can we live without those typical conventions that, games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, vehicles and whatnot, have made so popular over the last few years? And I'd say, yeah, I think this game definitely works out. It's fast-paced, it's got a lot of action. The guns are hip-fire. I mean, there's almost no reloading. There's no reload button. The guns are balanced to where, rate of fire and whatnot to compensate for that. But I thought this beta was pretty strong. I know a lot of people say, it's not Doom, it's not Doom. Well, the thing is, you haven't really been clamoring for a Doom game for a while. I mean, ID Software has tried to make innovations to, their shooters. Have you played Rage? They had some pretty good ideas in Rage, but the game as a whole did not pan out as well as people would hoped it would be, Instead, they seem to be going back to the basics, and that's the problem these days. Gamers are always torn between, keeping that classic feel of the original, staying to its roots, and, gradually making change. But, this is a double-edged sword. We see this shit in Halo and Call of Duty, They make changes to Halo 5. It feels a lot like Call of Duty, with these ridiculous-ass requisition packs and whatnot. And Call of Duty, more fans are clamoring for it to go back to the original roots. None of this jetpack bullshit. So I believe fans are really torn on what they want, because at the same time they want one thing, but they want another thing as well. And sometimes it's the developer's call, really. And as for the gameplay that they presented here, I think it's completely awesome. It's fast paced. It's easy to get into. It's not. I don't feel like it's made to be extra competitive or anything. I just feel like it meant to go back to its roots, which is fast-paced gunplay, on-the-ground gunplay, no kill streak bullshit. Even though I understand most of you don't like loadouts, I kind of get that. We want to go back to finding guns and whatnot, but, that's the problem with gamers today. It's a new generation. People don't want to learn or take the time to find their guns on the battlefield, You got to understand this. And, yeah, if I was a more hardcore Doom fan, I would probably be pissed, because I know, like, my favorite franchise is Killzone, and when they change some shit from Killzone, I get pissed. But that's the stigma with being a fan of a certain franchise and following it, and striking that balance between bitching about changes and or change or lack thereof. It's a very hard place to be as a developer, because you risk of alienating your fan base. But as for the gameplay here, I think it is solid. I think it works. I think it has its own flavor. I think, after playing the Battleborn beta, I think this is just a preference. I like arena shooters more than MOBAs. This is in-your-face action. There's no time. You don't take the time to level up. It's just grab a gun and go, go, go. But I wouldn't say it's ADD like Call of Duty, where you have all these ridiculous kill streaks and remote control RC cars and jetpacks, even though there is double jumping, fair to say. I think this game works as an action game. As a Doom game, there's a little bit of personality that comes through. You have your gory kills, your sci-fi weapons, your melee finishers, which are brand new. I don't remember those at all in the old Doom games. Reminds me of Killzone, actually, the brutal melees. But and then you have the demon power-ups that, like right here, where you can transform into demons and just wreck shit. Pretty much like kill streaks, but it's a power-up, so you got to fight for them, keep your eyes open for them. As for balance about all these mechanics, I would say, with the game being as fast-paced as it is, the gunplay works just fine. The melee system is hit or miss, because I would try to melee somebody from behind, and they were just constantly keep moving around like little bunny rabbits. I'm trying to strangle and gouge out the eyes of these little bunny rabbits that are hopping around, but the bunny rabbits just won't stay still, so you can't get any bunny rabbit kills. I know it's I'm being silly right now, but you get what I'm saying. The melee system, it's okay. I wish it would be one hit kill from behind. Some of the gun balances, it's actually kind of okay. Actually, the main thing about this game that I like is you don't start off at full health. To get armor, you're gonna have to run around and pick up these health shards and armor shards, and that adds a certain element of strategy to it, because you're gonna have to know the layout of the map. It's not completely pick up a gun and go, as I stated before. It is, you can make it like that, but I would suggest you learn the map so you don't get too frustrated when you're trying to take down somebody who's got way more armor than you. You're just gonna frustrate yourself. But that being said, even if those encounters do happen, you can utilize the map real fast. Your character does move fast, so you can utilize the walls as cover, which is great. I mean, people don't usually. It has an element of physicality where you can actually turn around or retreat instead of just getting killed from being overpowered or because you have the wrong weapon for a wrong fight. And I like that. It gives you options. So pretty much the success of this game is based around, the time it's released in. And we live in a time where games, like Battlefield, where they give you an entire fucking map to play around with, almost an open world format, and all these classes that give you options, and the option to go, customize your character to the T, down to the armor, down to the weapons, down to the attachments, all those options. It's a bit more simplified here, even though there is that too. There's a fair bit of customization that can be found in this beta. But I'm really interested to see how this game pans out in the long term, because there's a lot of short-term fun to be had, but I'm just not sure if this game is too old school where you'll find it repetitive and a bit simplistic at times, you know, because you don't have those mechanics of, you know, detaching equipment. Even though there's equipment, but it's nothing extensively hard to comprehend, you know. But I'm really interested in the long-term success of this game. I might get it. I don't think the multiplayer is going to last for me, but I'm hopeful that we're going to get a kick-ass single player. You know, as for the single player, I might as well give my 2 cents on that. From the footage I've seen, you know, the E3 footage, I don't know what people have been bitching about. Y'all been bitching about, you know, how Doom 3 turned out, and the campaign for this game, for the sequel, it looks pretty much the same. It looks like a faster version of Doom 3. Come on, be realistic. Don't be a fanboy. It looks like a faster version of Doom 3. And I don't know if you want a campaign that's just all action. I'm pretty sure the developers are smart enough to keep it paced out to where you do have your slower moments, but there's not going to be as much as Doom 3. But it looks solid. It looks like a faster version of Doom 3. Like I said, some fans are just hard to please. That's just the stigma of being passionate about anything, really. You know, these games go back decades, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of passion there. And I'm hopeful for this game. I think this game might be solid. I'm just not sure about the long-term, you know, the long-term attachment people might have towards it. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys have checked out the beta. You know, I'm hoping you guys keep tabs on it. I'm definitely gonna get my hands on this to review it for you guys, multiplayer and single player components. I'm gonna let you know how this turns out. Again, I cannot judge it like a fan. I can't judge anything like a fan, even the franchises I love the most, because that's just wrong. It doesn't work. There's always that, you know, oh, what about this? What about that? You know, sometimes it just comes down to preference, and the developers have chosen to go back to the old school, fast-paced nature of the game. But as for some of the systems, you know, like loadouts and, you know, gun functionality and whatnot, those things are left up to the developers. So we can't really vocalize. We can't micromanage the developers on their own IPs. You know, you get what I'm saying? No matter how much we dislike it, we can only judge it for how it works. So I hope gamers keep that in mind as we move forward with, you know, these old school style games that, you know, that come around once every while, that just, you know, harken back to that old school childhood where we could just, you know, grab a gun and just wreck shit, you know, because I definitely found that feeling in this game. I'm just not sure how strong that feeling is for me to stay attached to the game. But as for that, guys, that will be the end of it for this preview. I'm gonna get more videos out to you guys. Like I said, it's not like I've been taking a vacation, trust me, but I have been playing a lot of games. I have been collecting footage. I just haven't had the time to properly edit it and, you know, ship it out. But I have something to say about every freaking game that comes out, and I guarantee you guys 100% unbiased, zero BS critique on video games. You know, the nature of the industry. You know how you probably noticed that I didn't go too in depth about any of the weapons, or, you know, how, you know, what kind of skins you could put on your armor. You know, I don't, you know, that's pretty much standard. They're skins. Come on now, it's weapon balance. Either this weapon's balance or that. You know, I go a little bit more broader with my topics. You know, how this game, like Doom or any other game, you know, where it stands in the industry and what it means for the industry as a whole and for gamers on a larger scale. Even though I do go in my reviews, I do go deeper into the actual systems of the game. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to have more videos out for you guys. I definitely have more opinions to share with you, and, you know, I hope you guys keep you know, opening your minds to more varied experiences, because this is a pretty solid experience and a pretty nostalgic experience if you're old school and older, like I am. I'm a 20-year gamer, so this definitely stirs some feelings in me. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting more varied content out for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy what I put out, and I'm very thankful and grateful for all the support that you give me. And I hope I continue to grow with your help and get more quality content out for you guys to, you know, really enjoy and just chill to. So that being said, I'll have more videos out in shortly. So this is Heretic signing off.